Welcome to another SOP video for managed service providers. Have you ever had a client who just absolutely abused the phones? And before you say, "Whoa, Carl, don't argue about customer service," let me just tell you, there is such a thing as an abusive client, and there is such a thing as a client who uses the phone too much. Let's talk about clients abusing your phone system. I know that you've seen movies where the classic obsessive person calls somebody or texts them 20 times in 20 hours. Pay attention to me, pay attention to me. What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you doing? Hey, I need some of your time. And in the movies, we somehow accept that that's movie shorthand for an obsessive personality, for somebody who just hasn't quite figured out what the relationship should be. Every time I tell people that it's okay for you to put limits on phone use, I get pushback. People tell me, "Carl, you don't understand customer service. I have to be available for my clients all the time. That's what they expect." And I would remind you of one of the absolutely unbreakable rules of service delivery. Don't have both sides of the conversation. You may have set in your mind this belief that you have to answer the phone on the first ring. I will just remind you, it is no longer 1962. We have voicemail, it's everywhere, and people can leave you a message. And if you call them back within an hour, no one is going to complain. In fact, they're not even going to notice that you were doing something else. If you called your attorney or your plumber or anyone you do business with, do you think there's a 100% chance they're going to answer on the first ring and give you all their attention? My guess is it's more like the opposite. There's about a 0% chance that that's going to happen. And if you called your attorney every hour on the hour and expected them to answer the phone and kept calling and kept calling and kept calling until they called you back, you might find yourself with a restraining order. That is not normal behavior. So when you have clients who call every phone in the company, call everybody's cell phone, leave voicemails absolutely everywhere, and just abuse your phone system, you have the right to push back. And it's not bad customer service. I will point out, people have this fear in their brain, but the reality is 99, maybe 98% of your clients don't behave like that. Do not base the behavior and the standard operating procedures of your company on the exception to the rule. Most people work normal hours, 8 or 9 a.m. until 5 or 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Yes, there are exceptions. Most people, when they call you at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 at night, do not expect you to answer the phone. Yes, there are exceptions. But most of the time, most of your clients are reasonable, rational people who do not expect you to answer the phone at 10 o'clock at night. They do not expect you to answer on the first ring. What they want, and you can ask them this, is for you to give them the appropriate response. When I say don't have both sides of the conversation, I honestly mean go talk to your clients. Are you getting a reasonable response from us? What do you think is a reasonable response? Many of us have been in a situation where we are in a meeting with a client, and sometimes even a sales meeting with a prospect, and our phone rings. Your phone shouldn't be on, your phone shouldn't be with you, your phone should be on silent, but let's just say your phone rings. And the client or the prospect says, "Do you want to get that?" I hope your response is, "No, silent. I am giving my attention to you right now." That is the appropriate thing to do. your clients know this, your prospects know this. When you are working at a client's office, they deserve your attention. You are probably billing them for the time, and even if it's on a flat fee managed service contract, you are keeping track of the time it takes to service that client so you can determine your own billability. And so you should not be taking somebody else's phone call while you're serving another client. Clients know this. They're completely aware of it. They run businesses. They don't walk around answering the phone all the time, and if they do, they're less profitable than they could be or should be. Just because there are norms that you have adopted for some reason doesn't mean you have to do that forever and ever and ever. Make a choice today to develop a rational policy and make sure your clients know this is the best way to get a hold of us. Give them a sheet, give them just a handful of little pointers in your next newsletter that says, when you call us, here's what happens. It might go to an answering service, it might be answered by the service manager, the office manager, something. Or it might just go to voicemail. And you can promise, we will return your call in a reasonable amount of time. You might say 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. If you say, we'll get back to you eventually, that's okay too. But then over-deliver. Go ahead and call them back in 15 minutes, in 5 minutes, whatever makes you happy. But get them out of the habit of believing that they can call you directly and you will immediately pick up the phone. That doesn't actually serve you well, and in many, many cases, it's better for you to wait and get your thoughts together before you pick up the phone and call the client back. Again, if it's an emergency, by all means, call them back immediately. But don't build your standard operating procedures based on the exceptions to the rule. You should control your inbound communications. That is your right, and in fact, it is a very important business decision about how you run your company. Think about all the calls you're going to make this week. In fact, you can write them down on a piece of paper and see how many of them somebody picked up immediately. I always think it's absurd when people answer the phone in the line at the checkout counter and say, hey, I have to call you back. I'm about to be checked out at the store. And all I can think of is, you have voicemail. I don't even have to know anything about your plan. I know you have voicemail. Why did you answer that phone? Now, there are some people who think it's rude to not answer the phone. I think those people are older than me. As a rule, if you are able to be communicated with, that's reasonable, that's rational, and that's the way you should do it. So set up some basic guidelines. Let your clients know the best way to get in touch with you, the best way to open a ticket, the best way to ask for advice. Make sure that you have a fairly complete process for managing your phones. I personally don't let technicians answer the phone. I don't want anybody to give out their cell phone. We have a main number, and that way all of it goes through there. You can have somebody answer the phone, but very often it's best if that is not somebody who can give tech support so that they're not constantly being interrupted. Somebody can answer the phone, enter a ticket into the system, somebody will call the client back. If that happens in a reasonable amount of time, clients will be happy. So don't go overthinking this and creating a scenario where you basically can't win, when in fact, when you ask your clients, you're going to find out that they're already happy with you or they wouldn't be your clients. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Polishuk wishing you the best of luck in your managed service business. Here's your checklist for this video. Like it, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post new videos, share it on your favorite social media, and if you haven't checked out SOP for SMB.com, go visit our website.